Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Charles with the latest edition of Charles Snyder Raw. It's unscheduled, unscripted, unedited for the most part. And here it is. I'm talking about usually what I'm facing in business, what I'm dealing with, what I'm facing, how I'm working around stuff, problems that may pop up. Pretty much whatever happens day to day, Monday through Friday. I talk for 5, 10 minutes about whatever I'm doing or facing in business. So last week was kind of a roller coaster week where there was a lot going on, with this whole blow up with Facebook and third party marketing, the Cambridge Analytica scandal that came out, Facebook's knee jerk reaction to it, with taking away third party targeting and pausing messenger bots and just on and on and on. There's a lot of craziness going on. And if that isn't bad enough, there's just like a lot of different people out there just kind of adding to the whole panic, blowing it up, making it more sensational than what it really is. And that's one of the problems with society today is just people don't really pay attention unless it's like really sensationalized. So, like the media companies are guilty of doing this. There's a lot of people out there that are just kind of like really uh, making making matters worse by really just kind of talking out their ass about stuff and making it a bigger panic or making it a bigger problem than what it really is. Now, as I stated before, I didn't think it was really that big of a deal. Facebook shutting down third party marketing. The messenger bots is kind of a pain in the ass because we do have customers that are interested in that. We've been experimenting with it. We haven't really done a whole lot with it, but there's no messenger bots being approved at this time. That's not to say a week or so from now that won't change. It's just no new ones right now until they kind of go through and um, just really review their practices and stuff because Facebook's coming under a lot of fire and a lot of pressure, both from the public, from the media. Uh, Federal Trade Commission is looking into them. Uh, they got a lot of problems right now, and I think what they're trying to do is get ahead of the curve. But by doing so, it's just it's kind of like the same reaction when you pull back from, oh man, I stuck my hand over the flame too long. It's, but I don't think that's going to affect most businesses. Most small businesses, I mean, yes, there's, the messenger bot is a tool. There's no new ones being approved at this time. So, yeah, it might be an issue, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of Facebook. It's not the end of advertising on the internet, not by a long shot. So there's a lot of people pulling out of Facebook. And as I mentioned, there's like a number of large companies that are pulling out of Facebook right now, which again, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Um, if they lose a couple $100,000, a couple $1 million, what does it matter when you're making, I believe it was like 10 billion a quarter? Do you really notice a couple $1 million? So, and even some of these like so-called gurus out there saying that they're going to pull their advertising, they might spend, you know, 1, 2, 4 million a year, maybe in advertising with Facebook. And in a greater scheme of things, Facebook won't notice it. So, that being said, they're still trying to address the whole privacy thing. A lot of people are not opting into these kind of advertisements and stuff, but this kind of thing has been actually going on for a very long time. So, yes, it does need to be addressed. It needs to be a better way of handling it, but shutting it down altogether, I don't think is quite the answer either. However, There's ways around it. The standard way of just creating some, the three-step method that we use that I've talked about on a number of times, that still works. You create an ad, you send it to a landing page to your offer, and you capture information with it and you make a sell, or you don't. That three-step process will never change. The tools might, the individual tools that you use with Facebook, because everyone was losing their mind over Power Editor going away. They combined it with Ads Manager. Overall, I think it's basically the same, and it might have cleaned it up a little bit. I mean, it's not the most intuitive tool to use, but I think it's better now that they combined the two instead of having to say, you know, trying to train people on both was just, you know. So I think it's a good idea that they actually combine them. But again, there's a lot of people losing their mind over that because they made that change. Get used to it. The only thing that remains the same is everything is changing, and it's changing at a lightning fast pace. You cannot keep up with it all. It's hard to. That's why you need to build a team. That's why I'm building a team to try and keep up with it, just what we're doing. So it's Monday. I'm going to leave it at that. I got quite a few things I want to try and accomplish this week, more than just the videos and stuff. I've been working a lot of things on the back end, been doing a lot of like hands-on stuff that I'm trying to, trying to get things kind of aligned so that I can pass that kind of stuff off to others, like cold calling, doing the initial customer interview and stuff like that. My time, I think, is better spent creating more content, not just not just the raw videos, not just the 5 minutes with Charles videos. I want to get some more webinars done. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff that I want to implement, but I can't get to that until I get some other stuff done. And I keep finding myself being pulled back into this, the daily routine of stuff of, doing doing the initial customer contact and stuff, that I don't have time to work on these other things that are, they're going to be evergreen, that are going to be good for the future, not only my agency, but also for all of you, our fans, our customers. So with that being said, I'm out of here. Have yourself a great Monday. Love, peace, and chicken grease.